Good evening. For a nice little nighttime reaction, I'm going to do a fitting Xenoblade Night version of a track that I recently did a video for, the Eagus Wilderness, and I said I was really interested in the night version because the ones I've done of those are really good. I really enjoy them, and I don't really know what to expect because from what I've seen, they're not always super similar to the day one. They're not always like a remixed version. Or a calmer version, but can really have their own personality. So I'm super curious. I really enjoyed the day version, and yeah, I'm quite interested to see this, and also feel like it might fit the vibe because this is definitely an evening reaction for me. And yeah, of course, the super bright daytime image is not really fitting for the track on YouTube, but you know, it is what it is. It's just what's available for that. So, bit of a mismatch. Definitely not a night image, but the day version actually had a whole like kind of gameplay video going on at the same time that kind of helped let you see what the area was, and I liked that. Tried not to have it spoil too much about what the game's like for me, or anything in particular, but I think I prefer it over this because it was kind of like just having a backdrop. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm expecting potentially a calmer version of the same thing, but I've learned it can be quite different and have its own personality. So let's get into it. It's only a 4-minute video, but who knows how much I'll talk about it. All right. Oh, that was a really interesting noise. That's so cool. I love that harmonic underpinning. A beautiful melody writing. Wow, this really just hits. Oh my god. Gotta stop it here. Lovely little turns and not quite trills, but just beautiful. The melody writing's so clear. It's like very atmospheric, but then it jumps up to that high note and just really sings. Kind of really tugs at you. What an atmosphere. Just beautiful. Man, and so we're about a minute in. I'll probably go back to where we're at. But even just the very beginning, kind of oddly, like a little bit crunchy of a sound to start. Very unusual. Like sort of an odd like reverberation effect on like the kind of gong-like percussion or singing bowls or that kind of like metallic large-scale percussive sound, just the big echo of it, but having like an interesting reverberation either added or something about the like recording acoustics that makes it sound very unusual and just grabs my attention right away because it's like a little bit bizarre. And then they just build so many layers on top of it. Like it builds up atmospherically for quite some time. Like starts with this kind of, metallic echo, adds this nice, soft kind of cloud of a layer. And that layer, we get that cloud, and the cloud kind of expands almost to like double its height. Then we get the melody up top, which of course just pierces through it entirely. It's, I don't know, it's the lightning through the clouds. It's so bold, but also like, it's oddly peaceful for how bold it is. I think partly because it sounds almost a little bit forlorn. It's a little bit hanging out there by itself. It'll do a little melodic statement and then it stops and has a few seconds of nothingness in between it. It's kind of calls out and lets go for a bit. And I feel like that kind of helps it work in the way that it's like fairly, it's very forward and intense and the timbre is quite strong. But it balances that with the kind of space that's happening as well. If it was just a continual melody, I feel like it might not work as well. It needs this release. Let me go back a bit. Let's go for a little bit. Comes back in. Alright, I'm actually going to listen to all of it again. It's so good. This comforting major harmony. It climbs up there, but then it goes minor, and it just... this little turn on its way down. Then we get the big, the drop. Sounds a bit epic, but then it fades away, gets sparkly, it shimmers. Incredible atmosphere. A little bit of, we get some interesting percussion. Whoa. Are we really doing this? Holy shit. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I don't know exactly what they're using. Could be anything, I guess. Very wooden percussion. Whoa, okay. Getting a bit of like a bass rhythm and cello? Holy shit, this piece is fucking incredible. What am I listening to? What is... Oh my god, the first like minute to 90 seconds or something were awesome. And so atmospheric and so cool. It could have just looped like that, but we just like let go in this way that like, I'm sure because it's like background at night in the game, it like that space is maybe not as noticed or as like stands out as much as me listening to it as if it's like a concert piece essentially, and imagining, in the concert hall, like how much impact, like how much everybody would be like have their hair on edge, like waiting for what's going to happen during that just drop out for so long, just longer than you would expect. So it really hits me as like a piece of music on its own that stands out a lot. I could imagine perhaps you don't notice that as much in the game. It's just like, oh, it's kind of odd. The music went almost silent for a bit, but like it's nighttime. I'm just walking around. It might not feel the same, but really shocked me, to be honest, that it was doing that when I'm this focused on it. And then it comes back in with some entirely different stuff. I just heard a gorgeous cello entrance. And like, what is happening? Okay, I have to back up. I have to hear all of this again. So many things happened. This is wild. Yeah, this just like almost discordant, like just aggressive, echo. It's actually quite like discomforting in a way. Not necessarily, but like something about the sound of it was a little spooky at first. And then we just get these percussive noises that are... I think I remember this actually from the day version, though, that kind of percussion. And then just this kind of drum or bass-like sound. Wow, that's almost like a Bloodborne sound. Oh my god. Could genuinely be in Bloodborne. And I mean that in the best possible way. That game has some incredible music and cello writing. Oh man. Beautifully recorded, like everything on the soundtrack. Oh my god. Total mood shift. And maybe this is like the daytime melody and I just haven't remembered it. Because I forget quickly, but it's possible that this is a reworking of the daytime melody. Oh yes, it is. I remember this. I remember that harmonic shift. Yeah. Right, and there was all the guitar in the daytime. Oh, beautiful. What a mood. The bass is so nice and warm. Little bend. I've been listening to a lot of cello lately. The Rachmaninoff Cello Sonata is one of my favorite pieces, and this is just so good. This peaceful little voice. This moment reminds me a lot of Nier, the Nier Automata music. Oh, is it over already? No, it was so good. Oh, I'll just have to play the game for it to loop more. Beautiful wail. Damn, that is... what a piece. I gotta do a little, like, tour of what I just heard again. It's really, like, layer build up with this cloud, and then it gets a bit bigger, expands, then we get this super bold melody through it. Amazing. Yes, and I guess now I can recognize this is related to the daytime melody as well. That kind of harmonic turn from major to minor right at the end that I really love. Now I remember it when it was shown to me more closely resembling it in this night version. Now I remember it better that is similar to the day one, if I remember correctly. And I really liked it there, and it's no wonder that I like it in a different context. It just sounds so good. And then we get the kind of drop. It gets kind of epic, but then it shimmers away. So good. Moving forward, we get just a little taste of that same percussion that we get more here and had in the day one, I think. And then just kind of foreboding, echoey emptiness for so long. Like, I feel like I've heard, like, avant-garde pieces in concert that have the boldness to have this kind of space. Again, they're bearing the weight of being, people's full attention of a piece. The compositional, like, psychology is very different than background music in a game, but, game music has its own way that it has freedom to do what it wants to. But yeah, this just... like, almost disturbing cello, which I love. Like, and just the, like... almost like the rattling of bones. And like, it's like heartbeat of a bass. It's like a bass that's either, it could be, a bass guitar with a certain, the way the effect sounds on the recording, but it also almost just sounds like it's a drum, like a pitched kind of drum, because there's like almost pitch to it. It's almost got a tone, even if it's on the same tone, which reminds me of some drum percussion. And we're hearing like bones rattling, we're hearing a heartbeat, we're hearing this like kind of disturbing, like different tonality kind of tonal centering on this very dark cello melody that I just think creates an incredible atmosphere. And I'll say it again, it's so much like Bloodborne. It's just like, I don't know, you can hear heart pounding and bones rattling and just this dark, brooding cello. Beautiful articulation, just, really swelling, having a bit of a crescendo on that held note. And then it just pivots mood into something closer to the daytime. And I love that it does it like it uses the cello to bridge that gap. It has that crescendo on that last held note from these, very dark melodies of a totally different mood. And then the cello leads us in, and during this cello anticipation of the next phrase, we get the mood shift. We get a couple notes first. And we have that bent bass note that kind of very Chrono Trigger-esque way. Again, it's a reference that I've run into before in Xenoblade, and here it is again, with just that kind of downwards bent bass note leading us into this section. It's just so... that's hard not to think of Chrono Trigger. it's not like it owns that motion, but there's obvious heritage here. Yeah, right there. Boom, boom. It's just so distinctive. Then we get this whole mood. You know, we get the bits of voice and bits of guitar. It's just beautiful. This lovely little guitar ostinato up there. We get different instruments coming back in and you know, playing their role. What a piece. This is particularly good to me. I thought this was amazing. I mean, I knew I oftentimes like the night versions a lot, and I hope to enjoy many more of them, unless maybe I've seen some of the best ones, which, you know, usually you start with some of the likely best with reactions. But still, holy shit, that was good. I hope that came across in my reaction. I know it's an evening reaction, so it's pretty chilled. Not like I'm, you know, jumping up and down screaming normally anyways, but yeah, I just hope how much I enjoyed that came across, because it was really something great, and I have to put it on a playlist. This felt quite special. Just the variety of moods in it, and the fact that we went to such different places emotionally and atmospherically that I would have never expected in this. Like, man, that is hard to describe. Like, it's almost like a figure out later piece, because like how do I categorize that? But I do think it probably belongs in calm and stimulating. I don't know. It could be beautiful tranquility. It just has some odd shifts of atmosphere that are really quite even like a little bit unsettling in a very good way. It's probably one of these two, and I think it's got enough that I would say it has to be considered stimulating. Like, just the main melody's so bold, even if it's like a little bit forlorn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. And oops, that didn't work. You guys see me fail at this every time. Oh hey, this is the same as I just realized I'm placing it below Eagus Wilderness Day. Interesting they would end up in the same one, but they're calm yet stimulating in their own ways. I mean, maybe I'll recategorize some of this later and call this, you know, split this into multiple categories. But for now, they kind of feel like they belong on calm yet stimulating, in maybe a different way that they identify with that definition. But yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Man, there's some tracks like this that just are interesting, surprising, really special atmosphere. They have like bits of writing that don't feel like they're lacking anything against like really full pieces of music that I love. Even if it usually isn't able to do that for sections as long, you know, there just aren't concert length pieces. I mean, it's just different, the way they are represented in their art form, and they can be valued for what they are and how they do it. But man, for being artistically stimulating, intellectually, and even emotionally, like, I had a very strong response to this. I was really surprised a number of times. I think it's quite special. So thank you for sharing this with me, and I hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I hope you have things of similar interest to continue to provide me, because I wouldn't have looked at this without recommendations. And I have not to this day played Xenoblade, but I will. So thank you so much, and looking forward to the next time. Until then, peace.